Thank you for joining me for another Quick Hits conversation. I'm Dr. Robyn. With me today, I have Heidi Aderman and Diane Helbig. And I want to ask the question, what do you say when someone asks, how are you, when you're not okay? Diane, kick us off.
I think it depends on who asks me the question. If it's someone who I am close with, I will tell them the truth. I will say, not so great. And we'll have a conversation because I know they're in my trust bubble. If it's someone who is just like, if I'm at an event or something, or there's someone who I network with, but I don't really know, I will most likely say, live in the dream. Just
okay.
Let it go.
Okay. Heidi?
So I also really agree with, it depends on who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to someone and I know that they might have the insight to help me be okay, a coach or a mentor, somebody like that I know is going to be able to help me, then I'm going to go into detail with them and say, this is what I've got. What do you have to give back to me in response? For people that I don't know very well, or a cashier or somebody that's just asking that kind of question, I don't want to steal people's energy and just drain them by going on and on about what's going wrong in my life. And quite honestly, it doesn't fill me with any kind of energy either. So I'm very conscious to just pay more attention to them, because honestly, if I don't know them very well, they could still have the answers that I need to be okay. So if I'm less focused on myself and what's going on, and I'm just listening to what they have to say and what's going on in that moment, then I'm more likely to get something in return out of that. Be okay.
I know sometimes for me, so my default is usually, I'm fine. And I'm super chipper and whatever. And then sometimes I have, when I'm with someone who I'm like, oh, wait, I'm friends with this person, I should probably backtrack from that. Wait a minute, hold on. Wrong answer. So sometimes I have to backtrack from, I'm fine, and say, no, I'm not okay. But when you have a really good friend, sometimes when you say, I'm making it or whatever, then they'll say, well, you don't sound great. What's going on? And you may not want to get into it at that moment.
Because at that point, you've built a relationship with someone where they're reading past what your words are. Because when we communicate, it's so much more than our words. So that person knows you well enough that you are giving them clues that you are not okay. And this is the time for them to step in and see what they can do for you. And I think at that point, you should be grateful that somebody understands you so well, and just see how can they help.
So take the time to have that conversation right then when they ask.
Yeah, why carry that not okayness around with you any longer if you could just get rid of it in that moment and then move on?
I'm going to answer that, actually, because this has happened to me, where I have had things going on and I'm processing them, and then my brother or sister will call and they'll say, how are you? And I will say, I got stuff going on. And they will say, do you want to talk about it? And if I'm still processing, I don't want to talk about it yet. I will get to a place where I can talk about it in a way that's going to be productive. And I know me, and sometimes I just need to really let something sit and see where it goes, because my initial is probably not my 30 minutes later sort of thought process. So if I'm really not ready or not in the headspace to do it, I will say something like, let me get back to you on that, or, not right now. I'm really not in a place to really want to share right now. And usually they just say, okay, I'm here if you need me. And I know they are.
Yeah, I know for me that there's a lot of people who love me and they care about me and they're great, and they're going to notice if I'm not okay. And I can say, I just got a lot of stuff. And if they press it, I know if I start saying, this and that, the next thing, they're going to go into fix it mode. And I'm really not. I just need to talk about it. Don't fix it for me. And so sometimes I have to decide, am I going to have this conversation about I'm not looking to fix it. I'm just wanting to process it out loud. Or am I going to say, no, really not right now? Like where do I take the conversation at that moment?
There's some people that really care about you, like my mom. She cares about me like totally. But if I'm worried about something with my business at the time and working through one of those problems, and I try to communicate that to her, she's off in left field. She doesn't really know how to help, and her answers are usually not helpful at all.
Right.
So I think it goes back again to who are you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And with those people, can you start by saying, like, this is what I had learned I had to do with my husband. I had to say, I need to vent.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the clue. Do not help me solve this, right? I just need to vent. And he's a great listener. But if I don't say it, then it's just natural for him. This is what he does. He gives, he will interrupt me to tell me what to do, which then just makes it so much worse.
Right.
Forget, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you preempt it and you just say, listen, I'm not looking for solutions. Would you mind if I just unloaded?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just need to talk out loud. But I know I have had situations where, I'm talking to a friend just said, hey, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, just a lot. And they want to know more. And I'm like, yeah, right now, I'm not there, because all you're going to get is word salad. You're not going to get anything useful from me right this minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so you acknowledge that you appreciate that they are there for you, but you're just not in a headspace to be able to really benefit from that.
And I think that those of us who are real powerful go-getters, we're the strivers, it's hard for us to open up, which is why my default answer is, yeah, I'm fine. I've got it, and then I have to say, wait, no, back up, hold on. That's not the right answer. And I think that we could be really more aware when someone, and I'm not saying the cashier at the grocery store, but when someone who loves you says, hey, how are you? And it's a legitimate invitation to say, how are you? To that we take advantage of that. I don't think we do that as often as we could.
And I think even just communicating out loud that, hey, I haven't thought through all of this in a way that I can communicate this out loud. Just knowing that you're at that stage at that point has some incredible value.
I have a couple of friends that, and if they say, hey, do you want to come over for tea? I know that that's just an invitation, come over for tea. But if they say, hey, Robyn, do you need to come over for tea? Then that's I've noticed that something's not okay. Why don't you come over and have a chat? Like the way they word it is so caring and kind. That kind of give me a hint that, hey, I know you're not all right over there.
You're telegraphing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're in a situation where someone really is, they're close to you, they want to help, they want to care, and you're just not there, what are the right words to be able to say, I love you, I hear you, thank you so much, not right now, without offending them?
Yeah, I think I've totally said that before to people that I'm talking to. It's just, I say, you know what, my mind is just so busy with things right now, and I don't even know where to start. So let me think about it a little bit more, and we can definitely talk about this next time we talk.
And how do you get over the idea that, to your point, Heidi, you said you don't want to steal someone's energy. How do you get over that when you need help, you're not stealing someone's energy? I mean, assuming you're not dumping on a stranger.
Well, I think for me, when somebody comes to me to, I guess, vent or talk about something, I'm happily giving energy back to them, and I want to make them feel better. And I would like to believe that anyone that is my close friend feels the same way, that in that moment, this is what our friendship is here for. I'm here for you. Let's work through this in however you need to work through it. And I'm here to give any insight or help that I can.
I mean, I find sometimes it's tough to find the people who are prepared to listen. What you said, Robyn, about real drivers, real go-getters, real problem solvers. Everyone comes to me. So then it's, okay, then who do I go to? If I'm the strongest person in the room, then
if I'm the rock and I'm broken, then everybody else's ship goes to sea. Yep, totally get that. So that
Right.
is our 10 minutes. I'm going to have to cut us off there. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. I look forward to talking to each of you again very soon.
Thank you.